Stream. Start us up on the stream. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, everybody. Kevin here with Bullishbrs. Right now, we are currently looking at the crude. Where did I see? We had another imbalance up here that I marked out. Now I don't see it. I guess this was really our imbalance right here. That's sort of why I wanted to see us reject from that high of that imbalance. But right now, not really getting that. If it stops me out, that's okay. My stop loss is going to be at 24 now, moving my stop loss lower. Very tight stop loss on this crude trade. Extremely tight. Buyers are trying to step in. Point of control came up here. There is definitely more buying than selling at the moment on crude. My biggest thing was we did break that previous day low already, which means we have a very high, almost 80% chance of closing red. So that's why I gave crude shorts a stab up here. I'm probably going to end up closing them out for a small loss, depending on how this 5 wants to move. And we shall see. Really want to see strong selling pressure here. We only have a heavy level on bookmap now at 68.50 to the upside. So again, as much as percent-wise, we should be looking bearish on crude. I guess 67.50 is another strong level on crude to the downside, so that could be a potential take profit if we do want to push lower. But right now, buyers are trying to step in. This point of control is trying to push higher. We see that. We're just going to stay a little patient. We also have this level of 68.50 on crude, which acted as resistance yesterday. So if we do fail this, my next area that I would potentially want to go short on crude is going to be up here, 68.50. I'm going to let the 15 close. Only way I stop out of this trade is if it does go and hit my stop loss. Now, it does look more likely than not that it will try to run for this stop hunt up here. I'm staying in this trade. 24 is my stop loss. Every time sellers try to step in, they get bought back lately. So I'm going to be a bit patient on this. Still short on crude right now. Would love to see new low a day. Would be a crazy move on crude. We are in a 4-hour supply zone. So you see yesterday we based in this area. Why are my zones all messed up? Did we contract shift on crude? I'm like, what is going on right now? That's unfortunate. But not the worst. Not the worst thing in the world. Stay in these shorts for just a minute. See how we close. Again, 30-minute though did look very bullish. We have 3 minutes for that 30 to close. 15 also closes in 3 minutes. Probably gonna maybe get out of maybe one contract over here. We'll have to be patient on this and see. I do like the selling pressure trying to step in here. We're gonna wait. Market opens in 3.5 minutes. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, YouTube. Hello, does it pay off to buy iceberg indicator to use it on Q? So the iceberg indicator, you could only use it if you have rhythmic data. I like the iceberg indicator on things like ES. I haven't really seen much success with it on gold, on crude, on NASDAQ, especially not really on NASDAQ because the way NASDAQ moves, the spread on NASDAQ, icebergs don't have that big of a wall on them. Whereas ES, the spread is a lot tighter. It's a bit easier of a trade when it comes to icebergs and having good sell and buy walls. I like ES using the icebergs for sure. 240 left here on crude. I do like the selling pressure finally. I'm just going to stay patient here. I'm not going to get out of the trade just yet. I sort of want to get out of one contract here to play it safe, because you could always get back in. And the reason I would want to get out is because of the buying pressure we had coming into this supply zone. But 243 left on the 5. Like I said, we are trying to sort of hold this imbalance. I'd much rather see this imbalance get broken through. So we'll let the 5-minute close, see how we react to this. If we could sweep this fair value gap to the downside, I'll hold. It's not looking like we're going to, though. 2 minutes left in the 5. Good morning, everybody. Hope you are all doing well. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Ready for a great trading week. ES and NQ, same thing, right? We're looking for potential bears to continue, but we're going to have to be real patient. We have a 15-minute imbalance up here, it looks like. Oh, there goes crude trying to pull back. $15-minute imbalance there on NASDAQ. Why does crude look like it's pulling back when it's not? Interesting. Minute 10 left. Really want to see that sell pressure. Yeah, I'm going to get out of one contract on crude for sure. Almost want to get out of both. This just does not look good to the downside. I'm going to be a little patient. Just a little. Nothing crazy. We are squeezing against like a daily demand zone too. But that daily demand zone was broken. But there's that buying pressure stepping back in on the crude. On the crude. 26 seconds left. Looking for the 15 to close bearish. Really wanted that 15 to close below this dotted line. This alert I have right here. But as we see, buyers keep trying to step in and hold it. Almost want to flip this long at this point because of how we're holding. Market opens in 4 seconds as well. So we'll hold crude. We'll let market open. We'll see how market wants to react at open. 15-minute. No good. We'll probably get out of crude if we get one more little push lower. But I don't think we're going to. We'll see. Not getting any good supply zones on crude right now. Coming up to the point of control on crude. Oh, wait. I mean, if we get a good rejection, then great. If we don't, then so be it. You know what I'm saying? Like, not a make or break. No single trade is going to be a make or break on your account, and it should never be, right? Now, it could be a make in the sense that if you have a really good risk to reward on that trade, but it should never be a break because we should always have the same amount of risk on every trade we take. I like the selling pressure. I like buyers did get a bit weak up here. We don't have strong selling delta to the downside, which is a little bit of a red flag, but we'll be patient on this. Still looking for shorts. The reason I'm looking for shorts is because of the statistics, right? Let's see. But stats aren't everything. Gotta remember that in a sense. I'll move my stop loss, I guess. But, and that's how we'll gauge this trade. I do think it's going to want to stop run. But I don't want to get out of this short too early in case we do want to reject the supply zone. We do have a pretty heavy level 68.25, so that might be the next area to look for a potential short position if we do want to reverse here, just like that. Staying patient here on crude. Yep, coming up to our stop, getting close. How's the market looking? How's ES and NQ? I don't care about crude. Let it stop me out. That's fine. I don't care. Nah, it hasn't yet. Oh, it's getting there. It will. Stop loss is at like 23, 24. 24 is my stop loss. That level on Bookmap. So it's coming into it right now. It's getting pretty close. Did not hit it just yet. It's getting there. I'm hovering it over 23. I'm fine with taking it out at 23. All right, we're out right there on crude for a small loss. Had a very tight stop loss on that. Doubting if I should buy any additional add-ons to add more confluence. Are there any recommendations that you would suggest to look for NQ? I mean, Bookmap is definitely a bit of a tough read in the sense that when we look for things, let's see, bring up the NASDAQ for us, or this NASDAQ, I should say. So I would look into the trade map. What is that? Trader map Pro or Lite. I think mine is Trader map Lite. Trader map Lite, and it gets rid of any spoof orders. So you see how clean this NASDAQ book map looks versus this NASDAQ book map? It's just everywhere. This one, it's not so much everywhere. Gives us a different idea, gives us a different picture. So I would look into that add-on for sure. Now let's take a look at our ESNQ. What are we doing? Where are we going? Potential demand zone here on NQ. So we'll keep that blue so we know what that zone is. Potential supply zone here on NQ. We'll make that one red so we know that that's a supply zone. Now what I would potentially be looking for is ES or NQ to create divergence. Let's go make a new low. Let's have one create a higher low. Let's look for something. 5-minute imbalance right here. Now, look at crude. Glad we respected our stop loss. Staying patient. Remember, I said the next area of interest on crude would possibly be this 30-minute supply zone. Show you guys 30-minute. Oh, well, I gotta move it because, of course, everything moved because the contract shift change today. How convenient. So I'd look for this area again on crude. Last time we were up in this level, we found selling pressure. I would expect the same type of reaction. I might even take this up here on crude shorts, but we're going to be a little patient. The 68.43, look at that run right there. Let's see. Oh, you know what? Two contract change? Doesn't that mean we're not using Z anymore? What are we using on crude then? Crude. What are we using? Crude. CLF. Connections. Let's go to subscriptions. Damn, crude. Comex, no, NYMEX, CLF. And the reason we have to change our contracts, guys, is because the volume's going to be different. Not there. Why is it not there? Did I get that wrong? CLF5? Is that what it is? Look at crude go. Yeah, I think it's F5. Interesting. Yeah, look how much more volume CLF5 has versus CL, the other crude oil. Look at the difference. Huge difference. Huge difference. We get rid of this one. We keep this one. Now let's put our footprint on there. Look at the buying pressure. Footprint. Okay. Now we'll be patient. ESNQ, what are we doing over here? Chopping around. Point of control moved its way down lower. Trying to hold it right now. Want to see if NASDAQ could come into this area over here. Camco, apologize if I'm pronouncing that wrong. I do have a playlist of bookmap videos if you want to check that out. Hitting key level, key psych level 5900 here on ES. 5906 is very strong. 5906. That would be right at these pre-market highs right here. So do we have anything else in this zone suggesting that we should go bearish there? Possibly. So I'll look for 5906 on ES for shorts if we react to that zone with a rejection. Okay. So I would look for something like this, and this would be a range-bound trade. 5906, 25 to about 50 looks strong, so we would look to see how we react to that level. If we could break that level, then we might look for longs. If we hold that level, we might look for shorts. YouTube guys, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe. Here at Charts for Today, I need to work on marking out imbalances. Sounds good. Adrian, man, if you're in here, we will work on those imbalances this week. I can hear him. 16 updates. Yo, Discord only had 16 updates? That's it? Sounds so little for Discord. Check out crude. CLF5 looks so funny. 68.80, next level on crude to the upside. Check out gold, guys. What's gold doing? Gold did not give us this entry, but gold is coming up near supply. Let's see. ES and Q. No really resistance above on NASDAQ right here. ES has that resistance 5906.25. So I have a sell order at 5904. So if we start to reject this and push lower, I'll have my entry and my stop loss preset. VIX is pushing lower, which is bullish. Let's see. The hourly looks like it could be trying to go bullish. It is a basing candle on the hourly and the 90-minute time frame on both ES and NQ, which again is bullish. We shall wait and see. Okay, there's that key level sweep on crude. I will give crude one more shot because of that level. I said I would at that level, so I'm going to go with what I said I would do. If it gives us one more little push back. Look at that. It did find some selling pressure in here. If we get to 46 again, maybe I'll take that short at 46. Looking good to the downside on crude finally. We're gonna wait 1 sec. I'm gonna move my entry to like over here if we could get that filled. Because again, I really wanted a strong move to the downside on crude, so that's why I was fine with taking the stop out. I'll find another entry. For us to have an 80% chance of closing red on the day on crude, I'll take a stop out and a re-entry, happily. Or if we want to continue this, I'll take a fair value gap entry off of this imbalance off of the liquidity sweep. Selling pressure's there, it's probably going to continue. 15 closes soon. I'm going to place my sell order. See if we can get in over there. Where's previous day high? Did we sweep previous day high? Holy cow. We did sweep previous day high. Wow. Yeah, I'm moving my entry point to right here. Stop loss is going to be over here. Just starting with one contract in this crude trade. So again, if it stops out, we are in a very manageable trade. And if it continues, we could then add to our winner. Check your audio. People are talking to me? I apologize, guys. Voice and audio output. That's why. Can you guys say something again?
Mic test. Can you hear me?
There we go. Now I can. I'm so sorry, guys. Sorry about that. Discord, like Marzitti said, with the thousands of updates, I'm sure it just like set something to default. Yeah, no, that's strange. I would have fixed it earlier. You know what it is? It was a hearing issue. Like you guys could hear me, but I couldn't hear you guys. Wow, Crude finally giving us that rejection, man. That's something, dude. 68-60. Oh my goodness. Alright, well, first off, forget that one contract thing. If this 15-minute gives us a beautiful basing candle like this, yo, I'm grabbing that thing short. We're going short. Too short, baby. Let's see. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Vietnam. I still have my entry point is up here. So if the 15 could close over here, it's got 50 seconds to close. I'd like maybe a quick little move back up, and then I'll take those shorts. If the 15 pushes higher and closes green, however, probably not going to take these shorts. Yeah, buyers are trying to step back in the last few seconds of this 15-minute candle. Give me a drop. Give me a drop first. One more drop before we close. Please, please, please. Really didn't get that drop before we closed. Boo. I'll start the order with one contract then. Worst to 68.50. Like right up here. Give me a push up. No, give me a push higher. I don't want to push lower yet. What's VIX doing? What's ESNQ doing? We aren't up here yet on the ES or NASDAQ. We're getting close to this level on NASDAQ. I'm going to move crude somewhere else so I could keep an eye on it. Crude might continue here, so it makes a 5-minute imbalance, unfortunately. Which again, though, will work as a possible entry, but I'd rather be in this trade than not be in this trade. If we want to continue to the south. South side? Let's see, crude. I mean, we could still wait for the 30 to close. 30 has 15 minutes to close, so I'm not really chasing this just yet. I have a limit order, sell limit order at 68.26 on crude oil. Okay, NASDAQ coming into this zone. A little bit of a rejection there. Possibility for a NASDAQ long if we want to hold this. Big if for holding it, though. Weighted index, bit of a wick. Apple try and push higher. I'm going to give... I sort of want to give NASDAQ longs a shot here, but I want to be extra careful because, again, sort of range bound. Definitely been more bearish than bullish lately. Let's see. I'd want to see a rejection on the 5-minute back up on NASDAQ off of this 15-minute imbalance, fair value gap right here. I'm sorry, demand zone right here, I should say. but it's keep finding rejection. Gonna stay patient. Really looking for us to push back higher so we could be range bound, right? I'm looking for ranging price action here. If we do dump this, probably gonna look for continuation. $15 on NASDAQ broke the previous 15-minute low. Did not break the previous 15-minute low on ES. Again, divergence, but NASDAQ is a bit weaker. So we're staying very patient. We have this support down here on NASDAQ. I really want it to start to hold up. Really want to see buyers step in on NASDAQ. But we're failing it. Weighted index getting a little weak again. Apple rejecting previous day high. Microsoft's pushing higher. Nvidia's weak. Again, bearish situations on the NASDAQ there. So we're just going to wait. Does look more like NASDAQ wants to continue to the downside, but we're at an area of support, so I'm staying patient. Would really like to see a strong move up from here to trap any potential sellers, and then I might grab a long on NQ. 47 seconds left, still looking more weaker than anything. Coming into support, NASDAQ selling. Support on Bookmap right over here. The selling's getting a bit weak over here, but it's still valid, still here, still staying patient. 15-minute doesn't close for another like 10 minutes. Yeah, look at the sellers. NQ, ES is trying to hold stronger than NQ is right now. Five-minute closes in 7 seconds. There we go. That looks pretty good. If we close somewhere up there, ooh, that's tough. That's tough. I said if we could hold it, I would try along on NASDAQ. So we'll go one contract, sort of light. Keep a very close eye on it. Again, looking for range-bound price action. If we do get continuation, we got to remember we have been bearish the past few days. Yep, getting that selling pressure again. Boom, right there. That's why I went light. You can't go heavy, guys. Can't go heavy if you're not confident in the trade. Even if you are, as we saw in crude. Crude just chopped around. Crude did not want to give us a clean setup, a clean entry. 30-minute on crude. Closes in 10 minutes. I'm still looking. NQ took out that support. Nope, NASDAQ looking weaker. Be careful, weighted index is very weak right here too. Gotta be careful, guys. Gotta be so careful trading against a trend like that. VIX is trying to push higher, which again is bearish. Looks like we're getting ready to push through this level of support here on NASDAQ. Hey, good morning.
Good morning. Good afternoon here in the UK. I'm getting in at 24.90 on the NQ going long because it's at the top of a facing candle about half an hour ago. Something like that.
Okay, and what time frame you looking at?
You know me, 5 seconds.
I mean, I like this area of support we're running to on NASDAQ, but we're just keep dipping into it. I like that buyer that stepped in. Again, it's just reasons to go long, but without seeing a full-on real reversal, going long here is just, again, a counter trend trade. And counter trend trades are just not worth it. Crude, potential for a crude short up here. Oh yeah, NQ has a gap to close. That's interesting to note too.
Yeah.
There we go,
There's
NQ.
not only a gap, but there's also a open fair value gap that we're looking at 2470.
Yeah.
So while buyers are kind of stepping in, their small positions are being built, not big ones.
Yeah. I know it's a tough spot right here. Real tough spot right here.
Let's close that.
I'd like to see if we could hold this 500 even on NQ. Key psychological 500. Also, this is a demand zone right here. So again, if we could sort of hold this, look for the next supply. I'd like to see buyers trapped. I'm sorry, sellers trapped here. But every time buyers try to come in, what happens? Sellers step in. We recognize that. We got to trend with that. We got to trade with that. Let's see. Crude.
T minus 6 minutes. I gotta go to work, so market will explode after that. Don't worry.
Just very strong to the downside. 30 seconds left in the 5 minute. Very difficult trend to counter trend trade. A lot of support down here near that 2500 even. Not looking like we're gonna hold it. Hello, bears. 10 seconds left. They better bring us all the way back up in these last 6 seconds. Crude also giving us a potential setup. Hold up. Oh, that's tough. 15 doesn't close yet. That's tough. I sort of want to take crude short here. But I also sort of want to let the 15 close on crude. Now, ideally, I'd like to see a reversal here to see sellers trapped. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing much confirmation to that reversal. We have the 15-minute demand zone here on NASDAQ, but that's sort of about it. ES also had a 15-minute demand zone. Again, sort of about it. Finding a floor would be great, but the momentum to the downside has been here. So we're just going to wait. If you're looking for a trade, you know, I'm taking NASDAQ long pretty light down here. Stop loss is at the low over here. But every time buyers step in, what happens? Swoosh, we dump. Want to see that reverse. I want to see that trend reverse, get faded. Now I want to take crude short really bad. So I'm going to, let's see. So I'll take crude short there too. So we're in two open positions, a NASDAQ long and a crude short. Got to be careful on both of them. Right now, quite honestly, not the best fill on either. And both of them have been fading the current trend, right? So we're going to be real patient on this. Nothing's stopping us out of these trades unless it hits our stop loss or take profit. And, yeah. That's how we got to take every trade. And if today's a losing day and I lose both of these trades, then so be it. That's how this day was apparently meant to play out then. But right now, every trade I take, any trade I take, is separate from the last one I took. My NASDAQ long has nothing to do with my crude oil short. My crude oil short has nothing to do with my NASDAQ long. I could win both of them. I could lose both of them. Either way, the account is sustainable, right? Every trade we have to monitor, we have to assess. I like that sellers keep failing at this point on NASDAQ. It's a great sign. Would like to see sellers step in on crude. My stop loss on crude is definitely a little bit closer. It's not the top of the fair value gap. It's going to be like a bit over here because I don't really trust crude that much anymore. There we go. NASDAQ's trying to pull up. There we go, NASDAQ. Beautiful. I'll look to add on NASDAQ depending on how the 15-minute wants to close. Remember, on crude, I was looking for a 30-minute to close bearish because the 15 did not. So if the 30 gives us this long wick and we close somewhere over here, I would say probably somewhere over here on crude to close, that would be ideal. NASDAQ buyers are failing again. 15-minute, just gotta wait. Just gotta wait. Not a fan of crude right now. That's for sure. "30-minute closes when?" In 38 seconds. Do we have any news coming up, guys? Let's see.
There's just some Fed talking right now at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider that exit-worthy news. You know, keep your stop losses in place. I don't think it's going to move us crazy like that. And it will still depend on how the 15 wants to close and this 5 wants to close. If Fed talks, it could help us rally. Well, crude isn't giving us the close we were looking for. NASDAQ sure as hell is. So we'll look to get out of crude. And probably add NASDAQ. Next level on NQ is 20,550. So we'll add to NASDAQ there, adding to our winner at the moment. Getting out of crude completely, just not even worth it on crude. Here we go, NASDAQ. Would love to see a strong move on NQ here on the 5-minute and 15. We got that Fed speak, we got that news. It did not give us a crazy move, so I'm cool with holding these on NASDAQ longs right now, guys. Average entry is now over here. Sweet. First take profit, I will do 20, 50, 55 right here. Maybe a little above that. I want to see a strong move, guys. Like to see equities push higher. Nice. There we go, NASDAQ. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Keep it going. Keep it going. Pump City. Let's get all those people, all those sellers. Trap them, trap them, trap them. Gotta be careful that we don't reverse here for a minute, though, and trap these buyers. What'd I say? 50 was my first take profit. I'm gonna listen to my first take profit off Bookmap. It's so close to it. Boom! First take profit hit on NASDAQ. Let's go, guys. Boom, boom, boom. Yo, that gets 5 booms. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, where the Costco guy fans at? Yo, nice NASDAQ long. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful finding that entry area right. Real good. Real staying patient still. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful run up, guys. Beautiful run up. Really want to see continuation above this 55.50 level. Really want to see continuation. Let's get it. Let's get it. If we start to dump back below it, I'll get out. What's that?
ES just crossed VWAP, a little small fair value gap north. We've been at 22 already. Heading to the top of the box at 59.02.
Boom, boom, boom. Let's go, baby. Another 20 quick points right there on NASDAQ. Oh, my goodness. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Come on, hit that 20, 50, 70. 20, 50, 70. We're going for it, guys. We're going for it. VWAP on NASDAQ 2 up here. Let's go. Come on. Oh my goodness. Getting a little weak up here. Definitely considering exiting. I'm going to get out, guys. I'm all out of NASDAQ. Great long trade. Great comeback season right there. Good stuff. Let's be a bit patient now. Definitely could have held it. I'm going to be looking for a re-entry. Thank you, thank you. Here all week. Try the veal. What's great now is if this NASDAQ... So, look, guys. Remember when I always say there's trends in the market, we look for common reactions. So this 15-minute order block held on NASDAQ, and we created a new 15-minute order block. Same with ES. We had this 15-minute order block. Now we created potentially a new one. So what I'm going to be doing then is I'm going to look for a re-entry. If this wants to continue and I got out a little too soon, that's okay. Because now my next re-entry on NASDAQ is going to be this 20,539. I'm going to look for the trend of the market to continue in my favor. Look at that move. Holy cow. It did give us that 70. It is even giving us 80. Wow. Real good stuff. Real good stuff. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's see. And guys, also don't forget, I do use equities when I'm looking for ESNQ, some type of trend. And what I saw was the weighted index. Every time the weighted index tried to push lower, we ended up wicking back higher. So buyers kept trying to hold this floor, and it was the same previous day low floor we had yesterday. So all of this trying to add up and push higher. Nvidia also trying to move back higher too. NASDAQ, look at that, 84. It's at 20,584. Amazing stuff, great stuff. Guys, don't forget, check out my website, tradingpioneers.net. Join our community if you're on YouTube at bullishbrs.com. We live trade every day for you guys. This was a huge trade, and I do go live on Twitch on the days I'm not live in the Bullish Bears community, so you can check that out at Kevin Futures. Wow, this would have been my next TP right here. I did say to supply though, so now at this point, I said that this would be my next level of re-entry. I mean that. I'm going to use that as my next level of re-entry. So this was my first trade of the day. Well, not first trade. We took that loss on crude. I think we took 2 little losses on crude. Again, glad we respected our stop loss. But yeah, crude just been sort of chopping, mopping, and slopping around, so it ain't worth it. Same with gold. What's gold doing? Gold hasn't given us our entry. It did reject supply. That's about it. If anything on gold, I would mark out this pre-market high, or I'm sorry, this previous high that we made in supply, and look for a rejection off of that level. Look at this ES, guys. I mentioned this level on ES this morning, and look at Heatmap has had this level, 59.0650, all morning, and that level worked as a magnet to price. Really great stuff. Beautiful, wonderful. Guys, if you are on YouTube, do not sign up for my morning briefings yet. I do morning briefings 8:30 to 9 every morning on Zoom. Now, Bullish Bears members, you guys have full access to that. I send that Zoom link every morning in the main chat. For people who are trying to sign up for just that morning briefing, I have to figure out how to set it up properly on the website, so you guys don't have to book each session. I thought I set it up right yesterday. It's not looking like it's right. I gotta, again, like I said, I gotta look into it and figure that out. It'll probably be something as simple as maybe like connecting Zoom to some other type of interface that sends out the link every morning to whoever subscribed to like a text chain or something. So we'll figure that out. We'll figure it out. The 15-minute closes in 7 minutes, which tells me we have enough time to continue this trend higher. We're holding VWAP right now. We're creating support under us on ES. We are rejecting this 59.0650. This is how I said I would take that trade this morning. It was just like that. Now, at this point, because we have new information in the market, I no longer like this trade. YouTube guys, don't forget, hit that like, hit that subscribe. We could take this potential short on ES and target the point of control around 58.93. But I don't think we're going to come back down to that. I really don't. NASDAQ looks good to continue. Weighted index is pushing higher. Low-key feel like grabbing some NQ longs here. Apple new high a day. Microsoft, Meta, Nvidia pushing higher. Wow. Go market, go market, go. Now something I'll be looking for too is a 15-minute and 5-minute imbalance lining up with each other. Great stuff today, great stuff. So something I noticed, guys, as a trader for 5 years, when I go between ES and NQ and gold and crude, whenever I get good setups, whenever the market is moving very nice on ES and NQ, I notice that the setups are very crappy and very shot when it comes to crude and gold. And vice versa, when I see that price action is very poor on ES and NQ, or even when we're at all-time highs and have no data levels to go off of, no historical levels to work off of, well, that's when I will go to something like gold or crude, right? Price action is different. Different price action calls for different types of trading. So if different price action being all-time highs, then let me go trade something that's not at an all-time high, like crude. Crude oil, guys, the all-time high on crude, I can promise you, we might not even see it in our lifetime. All-time high on crude is at $245 a barrel. Crude has been range-bound since I started trading with Bullishbrs. Crude has been range-bound between 61 area to about 80 area for 2 years now. 2 years of consolidation. That's tough. You know, that makes me think too, you know, are we squeezing on a really higher time frame on crude oil before we get a massive move to the up or downside? Now, I don't know about you guys, what you guys keep up with news-wise, what you guys look into, but apparently Trump calling for that EV tax thing, you know, because his buddy Elon Musk or whatever, so I'm sure he's getting a big benefit from that. I think he's cutting the EV tax. Now, can electric take over every spot that the oil industry does? Of course not. Can it affect it? Absolutely. So how will we react to it? Well, I see right here on the monthly time frame, we have a big basing candle on the monthly. Now, if by chance we do break down to the downside, I would look to see if we have room maybe to, no wait, 45 a barrel, 40 a barrel? That would be nuts. Those would be some crazy lows. Last time we were seeing lows like this was when we had the pandemic. So that would be a nuts move. Look at this move, though. This is crazy. I wonder, oh my god, 83. Oh my goodness. I gotta see what that looks like. Oh my god. I would have caught this. I'm just saying, guys, I would have caught this. I'm clearly joking. Nobody would have caught that. But, maybe. What is this? This is April 20th. 420. Let's check that out on our replay system. Select bar. Select date. There we go. Look at this. 420. Four, and then 20. Select. This should be that day that we just fell out the sky. Yeah, right out the gate. Right out the gate. Just continue. Oh my goodness. Continuation. City to the downside on crude. I was just curious as how that price action worked that day, right? I mean, one of the biggest drops historically on crude oil, and it's just very, very clear price action to the downside. Huge, huge price action to the downside. All right, let's get back to where we are today. There we go, NASDAQ. There we go, ES. 15-minute closing soon. Beautiful close on the 15. Again, my re-entry, my next entry is going to be 20,585 on NASDAQ. Good long position so far off NQ. Definitely got out a little too soon. I have to be a bit more patient and disciplined in the sense of if I'm looking at a 15-minute time frame to continue, then I need to trade off that 15-minute time frame. Now, if I'm looking at a 15-minute time frame and I'm trading off the 15-minute, that means I'm at least going to be holding a trade for 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes, because that's only 3 15-minute candles. Because of that, that's the time frame, that's how long we should be in. That's when time frame analysis becomes so important. I think, guys, I think Apex dumped their 80% sale. Because I don't think the 50Ks are that cheap anymore. I think they're like 40. I get emails from them from the affiliate thing. Oh no, 50K. 37 bucks. Okay, maybe. We'll have to see. $30 for a 25K account. That's pretty cool. Staying patient, ladies and gentlemen. We are waiting for that pullback. Apple approaching new high of day. Now, for any equity traders out there who are joining me live this morning, obviously my main trade is futures. But when it comes to trading equities, I like to look at the large caps, right? I like to look at Meta, Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, Tesla, even Amazon as well. I did switch out Amazon for Tesla recently because of the momentum Tesla has had. Now, when it comes to figuring out which equity I want to trade intraday for today, because I'm a day trader, I use my watch list and I look at the percent change. Whichever stock has the biggest percent change is the one that's the strongest that day that I will look to trend with. So if Tesla is up 7%, I will only look for calls on Tesla if the market is strong. If Boeing, not Boeing, Boeing's not a large cap. If Nvidia is down negative 1.7%, I would only take puts on Nvidia. Nvidia is more of a bearish stock. Now, because Nvidia is more bearish, that doesn't mean I have to take a short and it's definitely going to work. Now is when we use our indexes, right? Our ES, our NQ. What are they doing? Where are they trending? How can we use them in line with the with our equities? Well, I see we're bullish right now on ES and NQ. Well, which ones have been relatively stronger? Well, it looks like Apple is up 1%. Apple's been relatively stronger. We have Tesla, like I said, 7.9, at a gap up overnight, so that's why it's up so much. So we're just going to be patient. Crude pushing away. Glad we are done with crude for the day. Potential for gold to sweep this high. I think gold must have had a contract change too, I would think. Apparently not. Okie dokie. Okie dokes. So we potentially have an inverse hanging man on gold over here. What we would look for on that type of trade setup is a push above this recent candle's high. So a break up and then a reversal as soon as we break, and we would look to enter once we start breaking down. Probably look to target down there. NQ just soaring away. We had our long entries way down here around 520. Let's see. First initial entry was 522, and then I added to it at 531, and I got out way too soon. Got out like over here on it. And that's okay. It is what it is. It's not okay in the sense that every trade, it's okay if you exit early. Absolutely not. We should always have our targets. We should always have our trade plan ahead of time. Because of this, right, how can I execute better next time, right? Well, like I mentioned earlier, on the 15-minute time frame, once I finally got that real 15-minute basing candle, and I had confidence we were holding this 15-minute basing candle, that should have said and been more than enough confirmation to say, okay, let's move our stop loss up, because before it was down here, let's move our stop loss up. Let's try to lock in gains, not in the sense of closing out any contracts, but lock in gains in the sense of moving our stop loss up. Because now, if I was risking $300, my risk will become $150, or whatever it might be. Instead of stopping out of one contract and limiting our profit, right? Which is sort of, unfortunately, exactly what I did this morning. Could have gone for a really nice trade on the NASDAQ. Definitely got out a bit too soon. I had good profits on it, again, no doubt about that. But as traders, two things we should always try to be prioritizing is keeping our losses small and letting our winners run. And those are two things we should constantly be working on. It is 10:18. Apple new high a day again, 227.86. Now I would like a pullback. So I was trying to use footprint a little differently. Now you see on my other charts I use footprint as just sort of the delta combined. Crude, I have it on, so it says the buy and sell side, right? So sell side is the red, buy side is the green. I was just really trying to clean up my charts, right? I want to have as clean of charts as possible on footprint, on Bookmap, and, what's it called? And, TradingView. Because a clean chart keeps our minds clean and at bay. Too much noise, and that is not okay. Weighted index pulling back. Again, I would love to see us pull back to this area for an entry, 20,585, and the reason for that is because I'm looking for the trend of the market. We held this imbalance, we held this demand zone or order block right here, we held it right here, and then we held this one. I would like to see us retest and again make another higher low and push higher again. 5 minute, we do have a 5 minute fair value gap right here. So again, my thought process would be maybe we could take out this fair value gap and then reverse right down there, or maybe come towards the bottom of the fair value gap, stop a lot of people out, and then reverse over there at my level, at my area of interest, at my trade setup. So there's gold breaking that high. Now, the only way we would take any gold short at this point is a rejection lower and a strong one at that. Bum. Definitely getting the rejection I was looking for on gold. Gotta remember that gold has been a bit more bullish than bearish lately. So I would really be patient on any kind of gold entry now. Would really rather us get below this level and then take that. I don't want, because if I go short here trying to get a better entry and then we just pop back up higher, then that's not worth it. We still have 3 minutes left in the 5 to close, and it can do exactly that. See what I'm saying? If I tried this short and it popped on me, then I'd be nervous, I'd be worried about the trade, I should have waited for confirmation, blah, 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 blah. There's an iceberg on crude, gold, I should say. Now, as I mentioned before about using NASDAQ and the S&P 500 for trading equities, same thing the other way around. I want to know where my equities are going if I'm trading ES or the NASDAQ. I like this rejection we got here on gold, that's for sure. How's a 30-minute look on gold? Closes in 6 seconds. Oh boy. 6 minutes, not 6 seconds. Hourly closes in 3.5 minutes. 90-minute close in 6.5 minutes. Definitely want to see gold push lower from here. We have the sweep, we have the supply zone. I'm looking for shorts on gold right here. If we could break below that level or look really red on this 5-minute, close somewhere down here, I'm going to take gold shorts. Stop loss is right up here. Look at this pullback. Glad we weren't entering prematurely. Can't emphasize that enough, how patience is a virtue. Look at that. That's crazy. Guys, I'm going to be updating my 8-week mentorship program. So right now, basically what it comes with is you get 2 one-on-one sessions every week. You get the morning briefings every morning, and you also get a weekend accountability session. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to change the accountability sessions up. Basically what you'll get is you'll get the 2 one-on-one sessions a week. If you do want to spread it out so it lasts longer than 8 weeks, please feel free. Do it at your own pace. But you get the 16 sessions total, plus the weekend sessions, which is 8 more, so you get 24 full sessions. The weekend sessions, though, I'm going to end up pushing those down to maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes, because these are going to be weekly review sessions. We're going to review your trades, your setups, and your charts and zones. So we could really get an understanding of where are you from this week, from last week, right? Have you progressed? Have you degressed? Are you in the same spot? Are you still struggling with the same thing? That way we're able to get a very clear picture on what we need to work on, right? Because that's the benefit of a one-on-one coach, is we can really see what you as a trader, you as a person, need help with. When you're learning through YouTube, it's great. You get free education. You learn through a course, great. Again, education. But it's difficult because you're not given that. It's not a handhold, but it is proper guidance that meets your needs. And that's the difference of one-on-one versus like just trading education on YouTube. Again, it's great how much education there is on YouTube. I will always, send you guys links to my videos and whatnot, help get you guys situated. But when it comes to wanting to get yourself from point A to point B in your journey, a one-on-one, even just 1 or 2 sessions, huge help. Huge help. And Bullishbrs members, if you are interested in that 8-week program, again, like I said, you could stretch it out longer. It is 16 one-on-one sessions, and then the 8 weekend sessions as well for the review. You use code Bullishbrs at checkout, and that will give you a 20% discount off of that mentorship program. You guys check that out at tradingpioneers.net. And yeah. Pretty cool stuff. I have 2 outlines right now for that course, that mentorship program. The first outline is just a bit of a basic one. Go over just like, the simples, the basics, getting into signing up with TradingView, what are funded accounts, what are prop firms, and then I have a bit more of an advanced ones, right? So if you feel like you're already, you feel like you should be there in your trading, you have a strategy you've been working on, whatever the case might be, then we could work on that directly, right? Again, it's not just you trying to figure it out with YouTube, which could again be very overwhelming, very discouraging. You might be getting different answers from different videos. Just me and you. Let's figure it out together, right? Let's get you where you want to be. All right, that's my rant for right now. And the reason I'm ranting and raving is because there's not much entry-wise going on the NASDAQ and ES right now. We have a very strong rally. Love this move on the NASDAQ. Such an amazing move. We got those longs right here in this demand zone, this blue zone I had. Wow, it ran like crazy. I think I got out for like 50 points, but it continued for another 50, 60, 70 points almost. So really good trade. Just got to let our winners run. I was thinking too at some point, now obviously you guys could check me out on Wednesday on Benzinga for Futures Fever at 11:30 Eastern, but I was thinking I want to try to talk with my connections at Apex and see if I could do like a free monthly giveaway where anybody who might have had a coaching session or anybody on the emailing list gets a chance to win like a free eval account or something. Now, if I can't get them to do it, I'll probably just do it myself and like Venmo or PayPal you, $40-50 to get that eval account. But I do want to see if they would be willing to do that. That would be pretty cool. Would love to do that. Even if I could get them to do that through Bullishbrs would be great. Let's see. Wow, look at these buyers. That's crazy. That is something, man. We didn't have divergence down here either to tell us we were reversing, but we held demand. We held demand. This was what was this demand? A 3-hour demand zone. So we created this 3-hour demand zone. I said we tried to, right? Now this is a zone that I marked out from our pre-market prep. Now, if you're a Bullishbrs member and you miss my pre-market prep, that's okay, because everything I go over, I give you guys a nice, beautiful little rundown all up in here, starting with ES, along with some zones to watch and some trade setups to look out for, NASDAQ, crude, and gold, and depending on what we're looking at, I'll pull up Edgeful too and share a statistic from them. Wow, NASDAQ's just running right now, guys. I love that. Weighted index pushing higher. We might just keep going here, guys. That is amazing. Beautiful price action today. Really great stuff.
The ES North target is going to be 59.17, which is the pivot point.
Yep, I like that. I have, I got a pre-market high around 59.1575. Wow, look at guys, this is exactly what I wanted on the 15 too. We created our 15-minute demand zone, and then we had a strong impulse move and continuation. So, I'm probably not going to get the retest of this demand zone today. Maybe tomorrow, that might be an area of interest. Oh, I love it. Pager just said he might be trying a small short on ES soon, which I would not advise taking a short at these types of strengths right now. So I just said, said careful. And he said, his response is the best. I'm always careful. That's absolutely right. Every trade, always got to be careful. No matter what trade, no matter what setup, always got to be careful. Look, this is creating a 2-hour demand zone now. Probably a new 3-hour demand zone. Yep, created a 3-hour demand zone. So again, sort of similar price action. Now, I saw something on gold very similar recently, where we created a 6-hour demand zone. We had continuation. And then pre-market, we had another basing 6-hour. So I took longs anticipating continuation to target the next pivot, and that trade ended up working out. So something I'm going to look for that we could have looked for today on NASDAQ was we created a 3-hour basing here, and then we got the 3-hour basing here. So this 9 o'clock candle tried to push lower, failed to break that low, and we ended up pushing higher. Now, because it's a 3-hour basing candle and we just got a strong move up, I would look for continuation, which would then require the next 3-hour candle, which opens at 12 o'clock, to continue bullish for the rest of the day. That's a huge, huge thing to anticipate. Let's see. So now we created a 15-minute fair value gap, lining up right where this old demand zone was. So I'm going to throw my alert on here and see if we could pull back. Wow, such amazing strength we had this morning. Really great stuff. Glad to be on the right side of the market today. Wonderful. If you guys got any questions, of course, feel free to let me know. Any football fans? Crazy seeing Chiefs finally lose a game. That was something. Giants stink. Jets stink. Nothing new over there. And guys, too, if you are interested in booking any one-on-one sessions, use discount code Benzinga. That's right. Use discount code Benzinga on the one-on-one sessions for 50% off your first session. This coupon only works once. So that way you get an understanding, get 50% off, take the first session, see how you feel afterwards. Do you feel like, okay, that was worth it. I feel like I learned something. He gave me some homework for the rest of the week. Like, we have follow through here. It's not just an hour. Here's an hour of my time. Let's go over this. All right, see you next week. No, here's an hour of my time. Let's go over what you want to learn, what you want to focus on, what you want to get better at, right? And you want to get better at trading, at futures? Okay, of course you do. But what part? What are you at right now? Are you still at the beginning phase where you still haven't really been making pre-market plans just yet? Are you still at the phase of marking out key levels and key zones? Are you still at the point where you still aren't trusting your levels and zones? A lot of times when people are trying to get into the market, obviously everybody wants to get rich quick with trading. Everybody wants to get rich quick, period. It's good to say, I understand that's not the point, but it's even better to understand that, okay, let me really take it slow. Let me mark some zones, mark some levels. Let me start with micros, start with maybe 3 contracts. Let me start with a very small evaluation account. Let me take it from there. Whatever the case might be, slow and steady. Look at this momentum today, guys. Holy cow. Wow. I was thinking of grabbing longs here. I should have. It stinks, though, because whenever I see a setup like this happen, it gets difficult to grab a long because I don't really have a proper stop loss, right? Because my first instinct is, let's be patient for some type of retest, which is always great because then we're being more patient, we're being more careful, just like Pedro mentioned, always got to be careful. But we had momentum. We slingshotted. We had a very strong move on this candle. We had our pullback. This would have been a great pullback entry because, again, even if we wanted to keep our stop loss somewhere below a fair value gap, we would have been able to target the next supply, maybe even the next key level, which wouldn't have been the best risk to reward, but still a lot of points on the NQ. Just got to be patient. Weighted index, I said weighted index is soaring. When it looked like this, that was about 10 minutes ago. We continued. And just like that, if we're continuing on the weighted index, we're going to be continuing on the NASDAQ. Volume trigger 5920 on ES says Clove. Let's see, 5920. What do you mean volume trigger? Do you see like a lot of sitting volume? Do you see resting volume up there? 5922 I see on Bookmap. Maybe that's what you were looking at. Very strong right there. 5922. Love Bookmap. Bookmap is a great tool for seeing volume and for seeing and confirming what we're seeing on the charts. I would have liked a bit more confirmation on Bookmap at our entry points down here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to backtest today's price action along with TradingView and along with Bookmap. I'm going to backtest with both of my tools. And I'm going to see, where could I have possibly had another entry, because I don't think I really could have had a better entry on NASDAQ down here. But another entry, let's see, well, I had my ad, so my entry was fine. There's no problem with my entry. My exit, right? I didn't let my winner run. Or, if anything, maybe I cut the first one too short and the second one also too short. Maybe if I cut the first one at first take profit, that's okay at VWAP. But the second one, I have to let myself move my stop loss to break even and see if I can let that trade play out. Like I said, letting our winners run is super important. That will help us get more cushion on our accounts. So if we do have to take another trade or two, like I say, the paper cut trades that are very small losses on our account, that's okay. That's why we let our winners run, to cover those entries. We are at key level over here on the NASDAQ. This is where that 4-hour close.
Do we have any chicken?
I think we have 2. Alright, it is 10:38, ladies and gentlemen. We found our areas of support on NASDAQ. And guys, make sure you check out my video on YouTube that I put out Saturday, because I went over all the levels we see here on NASDAQ, my trade plans, my trade setups, my thought process. And so far, so good, right? We're getting the proper reactions. Maybe crude, I was expecting a rejection over here. That trade plan didn't work out. Gold, I said I was watching to see if potentially gold wanted to make its way back higher too, because even though gold sold off from the election, we have the elections up here, we sold off since then. Before that, and if we zoom out, when in doubt, zoom out, we have been very bullish on gold all year. We were even at all-time highs on gold, around 2,800 even. So, like I said, guys, make sure you go check out Are We Still Bullish Weekend Futures Analysis, ES, NQ, CL, and GC. Pretty spot on so far. And, yeah, good stuff, good stuff. Probably going to wrap this up shortly. I personally have my alerts here, around 20,600 key psych. This is also the 15-minute fair value gap. We also, my biggest problem with this zone right now is we have a 5-minute fair value gap underneath and within the 15, so that would usually be my setup. My issue, however, being that, what's it called? We have a 5-minute order block right here. So it's like, do we want to hold the order block or do we want to hold the fair value gap? Well, optimal trade entry. 61% lining up right below it. So I might look for something like this on NASDAQ. Now I I really wanted to wait to see if we could retest this imbalance down here. Because look, I'm keep doing that. This order block, this demand zone, whichever it is. If we're looking at a if we're looking at a basing candle, then we're looking at an order block or a supply or demand zone. If we're looking at the inside of a candle, this internal, this body, then we're looking at the actual imbalance. So this imbalance creates the demand zone, or this imbalance creates a fair value gap. It really essentially creates both. It's up to us as traders to do our analysis, whether it's just getting enough experience in the market or enough back testing to understand which zones to trust versus which ones not to know, okay, well, I want to target this order block for an entry instead of up here. I think we're going to run through these levels. I think everybody wanting to go long in this 15-minute fair value gap and go long in this 5-minute fair value gap, I think they're wrong. I think they're going to get stopped out and then we're going to reverse. Sort of the same thing when I said about this 5-minute order block. I think they're wrong. I think we're going to break below it and then reverse. But we have to remember, I could be wrong all the way around, and we might not even come to these prices. So with all of that being said, my personal preference, my best bet, obviously I'm only looking for longs at this point, would probably be to let the 2-hour or 3-hour close, which both of them close at noon, and look for that next candle to open and push back to give me an entry and trade that long. So that's what I'm going to be waiting for, guys. I'm going to be waiting for noon. I'm going to set an alarm on my watch. Gotta love those Apple Watches. For an hour and 20 minutes to an hour and 15. So it alerts me a little ahead of time. And then I'll be able to find my setup, right? Time frame analysis is just as important as technical analysis. Might even be able to use this 15-minute supply zone. This might be our entry. We have a 15-minute imbalance sitting right there too, and a 5-minute imbalance. Okay, well, I'm glad I saw that, because now I might be a little bit curious to take longs here if we want to wick and reject off of that. With the momentum we've had today, there's very little chance of us coming back down here. So we would be patient. Previous day high is until all the way 20... No way, that can't be right. It is right. 20,981 is previous day high. Imagine a candle all the way up there. Well, I'll tell you what. You don't have to imagine a candle all the way up there. We got a candle that went that fast and that far yesterday. We got one that went that big on November 7th. We got another one that big November 6th. It's not out of the ordinary. Now, my biggest thing is, well, let's look at the weekly time frame. How did the weekly close? Well, the weekly closed pretty bearish, but we're still sort of chopping. We closed bearish, but we also came back to this consolidation point after making all-time highs. So this might have been the retest before we go back up higher. Alright guys, on that note, I am going to wrap it up there. Make sure you guys check it out on tradingpioneers.net. Set up your coaching session with me anytime. And don't forget, use code BENZINGA for 50% off your first session. If you want to set up the mentorship program, I did say I'm going to be editing it, making some changes to it. That is 16 one-on-one coaching sessions and the 8 weekend review sessions as well. So check that out. You get a discount for that with discount code Bullishbrs, one word. Take care, everybody. Happy trading. I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll be live on Twitch trading as well. And if you guys have any questions, Discord, you guys can always message me. And don't forget, I will never message you guys first. We won't ever message you asking to copy trade or no get rich quick scheme. Not selling you guys anything. What we're here to do is help teach you guys to be independent traders. I want to see you guys independent. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, we're at 38% of Friday's move, so I'm going short.
Don't be counter trend trading. I know that short seems like the way the past few days, and it has been. But now with the market and the pressure we had this morning, and everything looking like it's trying its best to flip back, we broke some pretty strong recent highs, some pre-market highs. I would definitely be careful on any shorts. We had a lot of momentum to the upside today. All right. Take care, everybody.
That's very true. That's very true. I got called out earlier. But I figure it's a bit of a chop day from now.
All right, we'll see. We'll see. We can only make your thought process and your thesis of the market with the information we've been given from the market already, right? Now, like I said, we had this 15-minute supply zone here. Now, a trade setup I like to look for is a broken supply zone, a retest of the zone, and a long. But when I look for a broken zone and a retest to go long, I like to look for an imbalance to enter on. Well, now we have that too. We have a 15-minute imbalance across this 15-minute broken supply zone, and we also have a 5-minute imbalance there too. So I would probably be more patient in looking for an entry long than trying to grab some shorts trying to call the top right now. But
Thanks, Kevin. We appreciate it. That's cool. You got more points than me today, so...
Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. It's my pleasure. I hope you guys had a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow.